Our Historic Entrance onto the Gridiron by James M. Morris. Junior high school athletics at Class B rural schools in the rolling plains of Texas in 1963 might more appropriately be designated entertainment instead of athletics. This story is based on a mostly true events in support of that proposition, not to condemn, but to properly flavor the trials and tribulations of those experiences. Patton Springs High School is a real place, used only as a setting for this mostly true story. On the first day, UIL permitted coaches to begin football athletic programs at Patton Springs in the fall of 1963. Student athletes, grades 6 through 12, were assembled in the gym. Coach Tedwell entered and divided the boys into two groups, with the 6th, 7th, and 8th graders seated on the bleachers separately from the 9th through the 12th graders. Today, pads and uniforms would be issued. Excitement ran high. Rodney, a 7th grader, leaned over and softly asked Joe, an 8th grader, "How will I know which pads to pick?" Joe laughingly replied, "Pick ain't the right word. We get what's left after they pick," as he nodded to the high school players. Joe was right. Patton Springs was a poor school district, and the football equipment was old, outdated, and in poor state of repair, especially the equipment left over for the younger players. Pants and jerseys were faded and frequently had holes in them. The padding was sometimes exposed or totally missing, as were strings. Most important, the pad frequently did not fit our skinny young bodies. Socks and cleats were not even furnished. Each player was responsible for cleaning their uniform. That contributed mightily to the odor of the locker room as the season progressed. Coach Tedwell instructed the upperclassmen to get their pads and uniforms first by order of scholastic classification. Joe and his teammates watched the seniors board the stage at the north end of the gym and disappear behind its left wall. He heard them clamber up a wooden ladder to the left loft area of the stage and saw a light bulb cast its yellow glow on the boys rummaging through the cardboard boxes of pads and uniforms. A thick cloud of dust was visible as it bent the rays of light. The snapping of plastic shoulder pad pieces could be heard as the equipment was tried and rejected. After several minutes, the players descended one by one down the ladder and emerged carrying their chosen football armament. The process was repeated for each class: juniors, then sophomores, and then freshmen. And last, the junior high players were permitted to enter the sacred storage area. Oh, the equipment was in disarray. All pieces of it represented items that had been rejected by 4 groups before them. The basis for its rejection was pretty obvious. Only mismatched, broken, and soiled pads remained, except for one exceedingly small set of pads which fit Kenny perfectly. The junior high boys sifted through the remaining equipment and claimed enough pads to hopefully at least make them look like football players. Still, we all came away happy. Football was big in our community, and being tough enough to play it was considered a rite of passage. While we were in the loft getting our equipment, our legendary coach, Coach Marshall, came into the gym. His mere presence inspired participation. He had fielded some notoriously good teams and players in the past and had a good reputation in the area. Also, he played football in college and knew the game. Sometimes he would demonstrate moves on the field, and his speed and athleticism was evident, except as hindered by his smoker's cough. He loved athletics and he loved coaching. We were the sons he never had. Many men in the community were given nicknames by Coach Marshall that stuck with them for the rest of their lives. Men like Tudor, Slats, Moose, Foxy, and a host of others. He gave us a pep talk and left. The junior high team practiced separately from the high school team and played games on Thursdays, not Friday nights, like the high school. Coach Marshall said this junior high team looked promising. The news traveled fast in the community. It was seen as a forecast for the quality of the teams to come. Our team had mastered an impressive group of 10 offensive plays, 4 single wing left, 4 single wing right, and 2 up the middle plays. The boys were said to be hard hitters. Everyone was excited as the first game approached. Joe, my best friend, at 6'2" and still growing, was the main reason for such optimism. By the first game, the boys displayed attributes of good football players. Many noticeable cuts and bruises on their calves and legs and forearms, and even an occasional black eye. Really good signs. Excitement was high in the locker room as the team dressed out. The locker room was located on the back side of the high school building, about 100 yards from the northeast corner of the outer edge of the football field, which was encircled by the running track lanes. A droopy steel cable attached to metal posts encircled the entire athletic field to prevent automobiles from challenging the facility. The cable was hung lazily between metal posts ranging from about 6 inches from the ground at the low point and gradually increasing in height to about 1.5 feet at the high point. Everyone on the team was aware of the fence. It had to be negotiated at least twice each day to get to and from practice. Well, we dressed out for our first game and huddled in the locker room. Our captain, Joe, the tallest boy on the team, said, "Well, we gotta earn the respect of our community by playing good and winning this game. We've practiced hard and got scrapes and bruises to prove it. We can beat this team. We all just gotta do our part. Let's show 'em what we're made of." With a raucous shout of approval, we left the locker room revved up and stomped out of the room, crossed the Caliche roadway separating the school building from the football field, and assembled a short distance from the fence at the northeast corner of the field. The cheerleaders were assembled on the inside of the fence, ready to lead us triumphantly onto the field of battle. We stopped as the cheerleaders waved their pom-poms, performed cheerleading jumps, and then ran onto the playing field. Well, we were all clustered together and on command exploded towards the field with great fanfare and excitement. But as the first player reached the fence, he caught his toe on it and stumbled, falling heavily onto the grass, which in turn caused the players behind him to stumble and fall, causing a pileup of players. Our team momentum ultimately resulting in all, or nearly all, of us forming a large dog pile, from which we were all rolling around on the ground, grunting and trying to get up and causing even more chaos. Can you picture it? Seeing the chaos, the spectators parked all around the perimeter of the football field in their cars and their pickup truck, announced their reaction to the pileup by honking their horns and cheering. Well, it didn't help any when the junior high band commenced playing the school fight song, or when the opposing team gave a hearty cheer, and 2 cheerleaders commenced doing somersaults in the end zone. What an entrance. Fortunately, no photographs of the spectacle are known to exist. We sluggishly regained our rightful standing posture and brushed the dirt and grass from our now soiled uniforms. Fortunately, only 2 had lost our helmets. The rest of us had them on, which only partially shielded the glow of our red cheeks caused by our embarrassing entrance. As the laughter, honking, and frivolity of the spectators subsided, Joe demonstrated the leadership that would take him on to the collegiate football arena by huddling the team and calmly saying, "Now we have 'em where we want 'em. They think we're a bunch of bumbling idiots, but we ain't. Hold your heads up high and don't pay no never mind to the laughing. We'll get the last laugh. Let's go kick their cheery butts." And you know what? That's what we did. We were the only ones laughing when the game ended. The game did not make history, but our entrance did. Thank you.